Hey guys, what's up? So I woke up at like 3:30, and for whatever reason, before I used to wake up at 3:30 all the time, and I would always want to do like a reading or like something taped, something just talking about whatever came to mind. So I'm gonna do a reading. It can be a daily energy for today, or energies that are around you that you just don't know of. I've had a lot of those come up lately and didn't even know where they came from. Well, obviously I had an idea of where they came from, but like you don't know, and then things come up and you're like, oh, and then you see how it relates to every part of your life and how it affects you. It's crazy. It really, really, really is. So I understand a lot more than I did before. And it's like I understood, but I didn't know how to pinpoint it. So I'm going to do differently how I normally do these. So I'm going to do like the lessons that need to be learned that are blocking us from manifesting whatever it is we're trying to manifest. I've done this 3 times so far. So different cards have came out for like each one, but there was something wrong with there was something that needed to be fixed that bothered me. So that's why I redid it. Okay, so I'm not going to say what the other ones were just because I'm not going to. There's one of them, though. There's 2 of them. Okay. So we got courage, perseverance, death, gratitude, freedom, discipline, imagination, growth, adversity, and then on the bottom of the deck we have health. So there's something that we're trying to get through, obviously. A goal of ours, that's bringing adversity, that's bringing challenges to the forefront. Obviously, that's what happens when we're supposed to learn lessons in order to move forward, because there is perseverance, right? And it's like you have the courage to do it, but like I said, there's that adversity that's going on, right? To get our freedom and be able to grow again in whatever it was that we need to do. So when it comes to health, I really just want to say, like, I feel like it's not technically physically, it's more mentally and emotionally. So whatever it is that we're going through, or you're going through, whatever, is something that, instead of looking at it as a challenge, like, look at it as being grateful, because it is going to teach you more how to even discipline your mind to be able to visualize and use your imagination to also grow. But you have to have the courage to do it and keep moving forward, okay? Because there is a beginning, there's an ending, and there's death. It's pretty much like I am learning the endings are merely beginnings, okay? So is ending in your life, or is going to, or is in the process, or maybe you don't even realize something in your life right now is supposed to be leaving, because it doesn't serve you anymore. I know what that is for me, so it can resonate for anybody. I had have an ex, and he's my son's father, and I've been trying to get him out of my life for the longest time, and I was doing a really, really good job. A really good job. And then our friend passed away, and Bethany always goes to, you know I have to be there for him, or I have to help him, or I have to take care of him, or it's a weird thing, because like I don't get it, because I don't really like him. Like, I don't like him. He's a asshole. He's never really done anything positive for me. He's only done negative in my life, you know? But I think because he's my son's father, I want him to be okay. Like, healthy minded, you know? Healthy minded. Because I always wanted him to be in my son's life, and that has always been a problem for me. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy type thing because of how I grew up and my parents got divorced. And, you know, I wanted Dawson to have the father that I wasn't able to have growing up. And it wasn't really my dad's fault or anything like that. It was just, it wasn't able to be possible. So there's like a fear of that. It's actually underneath too. It's like that fear. It's that fear of, you know, letting go. Not in a way of like, I want him in my life, I'm still in love with him, like shit like that. Like it's more of a fear of you get so, was with him for 12 years. I've known him for 14. So it's like, it's that not knowing, you know, like the ending. It's that not knowing, like moving forward and growing and getting to the freedom to have that courage to move on. You got to have discipline, right? To be able to let yourself get through all of the fear and adversity for your own health. And it will bring you gratitude. Really, it really will. Because it's like, you learn the lessons from it. You realize the energies that are around you that you didn't, that hold you back. Like, I had these not feeling worthy of blah, 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 blah. So I wasn't getting it. And then it would be like, I'd be scared to act a certain way because of how he would make me, how I would feel if I did, and how I would feel from him. You know, so a lot of stuff came to the surface, and I realized it because I'm not the same person as I was the last time I saw him. And I've been growing, and being very grateful for that, you know, and it's brought in happiness. That's the other one. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop there. But it's fucked with my imagination and my creativity, and I've been getting that back, and it's like that block of, I'm not even really thinking about it, but because it causes so much stress and so much, it's like you want to shake him and just be like, get your fucking shit together, like for your son, like just get it together, like, you know what I mean? But like he just can't. So it's more or less about that kind of fear, like moving on into not having that attachment to, you need to be in your son's life, you need to be good for your son, like you have to have a relationship with your son, you know, because honestly at the end of the day Dawson's way better off. Like he really is. But it was that, you know, self-promising, whatever the fuck it's called. Okay, so we really need to have the courage, all right, to keep moving forward, because there is going to be an ending that's going to give you a beautiful new beginning. I keep getting relationships that come up, which was in the other one. Just saying. Before that is worry and forgiveness and judgment, which leads to success. Okay? Also, be very grateful for the lessons and the shit that you go through and the people that you come across, because they bring you those challenges in order to give you the discipline to, you know, grow into the happiness, the healthiness, for the freedom, right? The freedom of fear. So it used to be, it's been subconsciously. It's not like I've been like, oh my God, like I have to have him. Like, no, it hasn't been like that whatsoever. You know, I know he's not good to be in my son and my life. And there was that nagging from other people about, oh my God, he's doing so good right now, blah, blah, blah. Like, can you give him a chance? It's like, didn't we like say like we were gonna wait a year until he was sober before like where did that go? Like what happened to that? You know, like when I was with him, it was, oh, why are you letting him do this, get into your life, da da da, like you should be waiting a year, like when he would get out of jail or something. And I just let him move back in with us. And it's like, so where did that go? Like, you know, since like now, like I'm not the one taking care of him. It's like now it's like, okay. There is a completion coming up. When I see innocence, obviously it says, you know, childhood like. So I feel like that the new beginning is going to bring that child look like attitude, like, you know, like it's a new it's a new beginning, you know, and that can bring anything. So like I said, with relationships, maybe there's something that you're holding on to that needs to go, you know what I mean? And it's you're holding on to it because of fear. So with me, what I'm trying to say is, with me, I didn't realize that the fear was more of a letting go of that thinking, of that mindset, because that's what I've been used to. So it's like, okay, you're gonna get out of this, which I thought I was. But then I learned a lot of lessons from, you know, the things that were holding me back, the things I felt about myself that I didn't really even know, you know, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, what it comes down to is I was fearing change of not a relationship, but we have relationships, but it's and these people are supposed to be in your life for these reasons, for these lessons, you know. So he came into my life for this reason, to be able to, you know, move past that kind of concept of it needs to be this way, and the universe is like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't serve you. Why does it have to be that way, you know? So it's like, my thing is like, obviously the person that I had a kid with is not healthy for me or my son. When he was homeless and off really, really bad, you know, I told my kid, I was like, you know, he's not abandoning you. He's actually doing you a favor for not being in your life, and it should have stayed that way. Pretty much, I guess I was scared to have a different kind of father for Dawson, because maybe even though I wanted my dad in my life, it was still hell at the time to have him in my life. And it's like, that's what I was bringing to Dawson. So it's completely different from what I had as a childhood, to have a healthy, not normal, but a person that isn't toxic, you know. And in order to bring a person in that's not toxic, you need to be in the energy of not having toxicity in your life. And not only that, in your mind, in your mentality, in your subconscious mind, and your emotions, and the way you deal with things, and the way you feel because of an energy of somebody else that hasn't been healed, you know what I mean? And that affects going into a relationship. And I haven't been able to get into in a relationship on top of that, because the universe knows I'm not going into a relationship without healing the things that I need to heal. No, because if I still felt the way I was feeling, new beginnings, after purification, and it's the way I like put it together, it's like under completion. So that's cool. And innocence is actually under purification. So that's cool too. And emergence is pretty much like it's all coming to the surface, like emerging or whatever. Ebb and flow. Go with the flow. Don't be scared. Don't have that fear of change. because the completion's over, like the cycle's over, you know what I mean? It's just being able to realize the lesson in it so you don't do it again, right? So it's like, if you see a cycle, end it. Because even like, I'm like saying we're done, like this is over, like, and I don't mean with him, I meant like him seeing my kid at all until he's sober. Until he is sober, he's not allowed to see my kid whatsoever. And I made rules on this that I've never made before. I just didn't, and I'm seeing it differently now because I'm not the same person as I was. I don't feel like I need him in my life for Dawson. I don't feel, and I've been actually saying this, you know what I mean? I really have for like the longest time. I've been saying to everybody, because he'd be like, oh, well, we have a kid together, you have to talk to me. No, bitch, we don't. Like, you don't need to have any communication with me. I can talk to your sister and your dad. Like, they're good. You're not. And they'll tell you the same thing. But, okay. Okay, so yeah. So the new beginning, go with the flow. There's going to be something new, passionate coming through. Be vulnerable, be open to it, because it's going to bring you a lot of happiness, so let the unfoldment happen. Harmony keeps coming up. Literally, harmony keeps coming up. So it's gonna bring more peace and harmony into your life. Getting the toxicity that no longer serves you out. But what I was saying is that, like, I knew he was still getting high. And breathe. Like, because there will be movement. You'll have that instinct of what it is from a wake-up call. But you got to be in a grounding energy, but at the same time, like, being radiant, being in your true power of who you are, like that happiness that, like, because you're getting out and you're having the courage to have your freedom, right? And you're having the discipline of learning the lessons and moving forward, having more of an imagination of a new beginning, right? Bringing growth in and being grateful for that growth. From the challenges brings in better health, or the lessons or whatever, and happiness over fear, faith over fear. Fear, fuck everything and run, right? So anyways, so bring that radiance out of you that you maybe have once had before all this came in, and really just focus on the energies that you're going to start bringing back into your life and combining, and bring stillness to yourself, to your mind, again, the health of your mind. There's going to be some kind of power, some energy, some kind of power that's going to be grounding you and helping you with that. And it's going to help you to be able to release whatever it was that you had to and be able to change what's going on. Because there was a lot of bullshit that you were going through, right? That made you not the person that you really were. You're not that person that fights or something. And like me, like, I really don't, not like that, but like when he brings it out of me, it's like, or anybody brings it out of me, it's like, I see that person that I used to be, that I've moved from, but from being in a lot of solitude and working on myself, like, was what was able to help me make all those new rules and be like, nah, like, no, this isn't happening. Like, we're not going to keep doing the same fucking thing and nothing new happen out of it. Like, no. So that's that, healing that needed to be done from our ancestors, all that stuff. And you really take the reflection from what the karma really was from generations. Cool. From generations to generations, like I said, the ancient healing wisdom that needed to be done. Because there was a new perspective. There was, the veil opened up to what was really going on. And there was no harmony in your life. It was just bullshit, you know? And it was a rebirth of something that needed to help you in order to love yourself and bring all of that up to, you know, the focus of suppressing of the hurt, the pain, you know, that you really did go through with this person or this situation. I'm only saying person just because of relationships. It could be any kind of relationship. And you promised yourself, you know, next time I'll be careful, right? Because you know blessings are coming because of all the strength and all the shit that you put yourself through for those blessings, for that new, you know, beginning. And you've seen it. You've seen how you came together, you grew for that new celebration, you know, a new creation. There we go. It had to all come to the surface and be shown to you in a different way, you know, so you could effortlessly activate the nurturing for yourself, you know, that love and compassion, the new you, the rebirth of the new you, right? Because if we don't have that, then it's like, how are you going to do anything for yourself if you don't love yourself? But what I was saying before, or was I was saying before, I was like, I know that, did I say it? When it was like, oh, let's do the same thing. And I'm like, no. Oh, no. His sister's like, well, if you knew so-and-so and so-and-so, then why'd you let Dawson still even see him? And I'm like, well, one, I knew Dawson would be safe. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to worry about that. I was like, two, I know that Dawson would, yeah, see? Yep. I knew that Dawson would be safe. I knew that if he felt uncomfortable that he was a minute away from me being able to know from his phone. You know what I mean? Oh, yay. You know, so I trusted it, but I didn't. Dawson's the one that wanted to see him at the end of the day. He wanted to see his dad. So it was like, you know, but they're like, so why'd you let him do it? I was like, it was an old cycle. I wanted them to have that relationship. I was hoping that's what was going to happen out of it, knowing it wasn't. So that came good out of it. So we have the Empress, which is a number 3, which is working together, coming together. 5, the Hierophant, which can be chaos, you know, whatever. 7 is moving forward after the rebuilding, after the chaos. And we got 10 of Cups. 10 is a completion, which pretty much we had completion in the beginning with new beginnings underneath it. And we had death, you know. So with the Empress, it's like something new is coming. You're making something new, which is the new beginning, you know, the completion, the celebration has come, the wake-up call, right, into this commitment that you were put into. Again, it could have been legally, could have been a divorce, could have been a relationship, a job, contract, something, because you're moving forward, right? And it can be looked at as a bad thing or a good thing, white or black, you know what I mean? But try to have no judgment towards it. You know, actually judgment is underneath, you know, the success in the relationships. I saw that earlier. It's like balancing that energy. This is number 14 also, which if you add it, it's 5, which is the chaos thing, which also, it brings balance like after the chaos, right? Like after that chaos for that new beginning of the love, the what you wanted, you know what I mean? The reason to celebrate the new beginning after the completion of that cycle, you know? It was like a purifying to bring you back to that innocence that you once had. Because I was thinking of that too. I'm like, damn, I was like, I used to like be like this before that relationship even came to the picture. And I'm like, what the frig? Like, what? Because that heartache, man, like it just, the completion had to come because the tower was there and there was too much betrayal, too much, you know, hurt and somebody just stabbing you in the back, right? And you weren't looking at it. You were looking the other way. Grass is greener, like that fear of letting go of what you know, but there's all this new beginning and magic behind it, right? And it just needed that one situation, that one thing to get you out of that Nine of Swords, that paranoia, that not being able to sleep, depressing anxiety feeling, right? And it was a wake-up call, that spiritual awakening, that brought you into this, okay, I need to work together. I need to work with myself. There's other people that I can work with, collaborate with, instead of this person. There was too many things. There was too much of the unknown, walking towards the unknown. But you had so many successes already, which we have, with the Judgment, relationship, and success card. So there were so many things that you didn't know that you could actually do, especially being in the Queen of Pentacles energy, which is a very motherly, has her shit together, she takes care of people, which is another problem that I had. Again, I always feel like I have to take care of somebody or, whatever. But what I really need is somebody that can take care of themselves. That's why I have fucking 12 bunnies, okay? Working together, finding that give or take, and taking that leap of faith away from the norm, You're going to start having new ideas, start having new inspirations, and it's going to balance out everything. Even though this person or this situation might not give you justice, you're going to be able to be in that place where you can give yourself your own justice. Because it's like you were looking at something that was never going to grow. Like it was outdated. It was expired. It needed to go in order to have that new beginning. Which, death. It's death and rebirth. Ending and beginning, right? But being grateful for the growth that this person did bring in, and not looking at it as it being bad or good. Where is my chariot? Here it is. As a bad or good thing. It just is, right? Just is. Enjoy the unfolding, just take care of yourself and rest, because Prince Charming is coming. Or a new job, whatever this situation is of the relationship, your boss, whatever. So let's just end with one of these cards, because this usually stops at 30 minutes, because I don't know why, because I have complete internal whatever. A new romantic cycle begins. And it's funny because I do these cards for myself, and that was mine, so it was cool. A time to give rather than take. People are like, oh, well, I gave this situation so much and, this is what I'm doing. But this is more like to you, or more of an ideas of stuff, because nothing is set in stone of your next move, because it's in the unknown, right? It's time to heal before that new cycle. You're very close to achieving what it is you wanted, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. There might be something that you already have coming through, or that you've been waiting for, and the reason why it has not been able to come through is because of this block, of these energies, of the not feeling worthy enough, of something better than that. But for me, with the growth and gratitude that I've had from learning and having the courage to move on and, keep pushing myself like I always fucking have, always push myself. I didn't realize how strong I really was, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. Either way, win-win outcome is in a forecast, and your commitment is being tested, and let's end it with a new start is coming. You and your loved ones are saved, so it's okay to let that fiery, complex climax approach take time to breathe out and expect powerful change. Be bold and make the first move is what I'm going to say, as in believing that you can take that next step in the unknown. Confidence is your key to your success. All that hard work is coming to pay off. And your dreams need a practical plan. Bring love into the situation. Let's just, I don't know if it's going to end. Emotions are running high, and we're going to end there. Okay. Well, I hope this helps somebody in some way, shape, or form. Have a good day, guys. Oh, by the way, this is timeless, so whenever you see it, it was meant for you at that time. Okay. Not any date, nothing. All right? Have a good one. Bye.